If you've just lost your spouse, the pain can feel like an endless ocean, waves of grief crashing without warning, drowning even the strongest moments of resolve. The house is too quiet, the routines feel hollow, and suddenly the future you had imagined together has been replaced by a blank page you never asked to write on. In this vulnerable time, when your heart is heavy and your mind clouded, you'll be faced with decisions that seem minor now but may haunt you later. Some will knock at your door disguised as kindness, others will sneak in with guilt or urgency, and all of them will tempt you to say yes, because saying yes feels easier than arguing with grief. But today I need you to pause, to breathe, to hear the wisdom that comes not from fear, but from the hard-earned experience of countless seniors who've walked the lonely path after losing a lifelong partner. Because saying yes to the wrong things in these delicate months can cost you your peace, your finances, and even your dignity. The first trap often comes from the idea of change. When your spouse passes away, everything suddenly feels too much. Too many memories in the hallway, too many photos on the mantle, too many empty chairs at the table. And so, many seniors think the answer is to escape, to sell the house, move to a new city, start fresh. Feels like progress, like action. But this is rarely the right move. In fact, rushing to sell your home in the throes of grief is like sailing into a storm without a compass. Your judgment is clouded, your emotions raw, and every decision you make is likely tinted with longing or desperation. The home you shared may be full of pain right now, but it also holds your stability, your history, and your identity. Give yourself time to adjust before making such a permanent decision. Grieve first. Decide later. What seems unbearable now may become comforting later as you begin to heal. Next comes generosity. A beautiful trait, but one that can lead to ruin if left unchecked. You may feel pressure to distribute belongings, to give money to family, to gift heirlooms quickly, or to get things in order before you've even caught your breath. Perhaps someone subtly nudges you saying, "They would have wanted me to have this," or, "You don't need all this space, do you?" These moments can lead you into giving away more than you should. Sometimes for the sake of peace, sometimes to relieve the unbearable sense of responsibility, and sometimes simply because you're numb. But remember, the items your spouse left behind were part of your shared life. Their value is not just financial but deeply emotional. Give yourself permission to hold on to what matters. It's okay to keep their sweater, their favorite mug, their books. These are anchors to memory and love. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing to keep your life intact. Another trap waits in paperwork. When you're grieving, the last thing you want to think about is finances, insurance, or legal documents. And yet, failing to handle these matters properly is one of the costliest mistakes you can make. Many seniors assume everything will just work out. They put blind trust in relatives or acquaintances who offer to handle things on their behalf. But the reality is, if you don't get professional legal and financial advice after your spouse passes, you may be missing out on survivor benefits, pension rights, inheritance protections, and even basic financial stability. You might lose thousands without realizing it. Worse, you may sign something you don't fully understand, locking yourself into an agreement that benefits others more than you. Don't let grief make you passive. Don't hand over your future because your heart is tired. Find a trusted, licensed advisor or elder law attorney, someone who works for you and protects your rights. It's one of the most powerful acts of self-respect you can give yourself. Then comes the loneliness. This is not a decision you make, but a fog that creeps in slowly. The calls stop. The visitors come less often. Your calendar starts to look eerily empty. And before long, you realize you've isolated yourself. Not because you wanted to, but because the world doesn't know how to talk about grief. It's in this silence that your health, both mental and physical, begins to decline. You lose interest in eating. You stop going on walks. You stop answering the phone. And the dangerous thought starts to creep in. Maybe you're just meant to be alone now. But I'm here to tell you, no, you're not. While it's okay to take space, it's not okay to disappear. Loneliness is a silent killer, and you deserve connection. Find community even if it feels forced at first. Say yes to the neighbor who invites you for coffee. Go to the senior center. Join a grief support group. Speak to a counselor. Reclaim your voice and place in this world because you still matter. You are still needed. And then, perhaps the hardest truth of all, watching out for predators. Because yes, unfortunately, grief can make you a target. In your loneliness, you may welcome anyone who shows interest. That friendly stranger at church. That kind voice online. That persistent friend who keeps dropping by. And before long, you might feel tempted to start a new relationship. One that promises companionship, romance, maybe even love. And while love after loss is absolutely possible and beautiful, be cautious. Many seniors jump into relationships too soon, not because they're ready, but because they're scared of being alone. But if you say yes too quickly without really knowing the person or their intentions, you risk heartbreak, manipulation, or worse, financial abuse. Romance should never be a replacement for healing. If love finds you again, let it do so with clarity, not desperation. Don't let someone fill the space your spouse left simply because you're afraid of the quiet. You deserve more than that. And as the months pass and the dust settles, you'll face more subtle pressures. You should travel. You should sell their things. You should downsize. You should move near the kids. Everyone has an opinion on what you should do now that you're free. But remember, you're not free, you're grieving. And grieving has no timeline. It's not a straight path. It's a maze that twists and turns. Some days you'll feel fine. Other days you'll cry in the supermarket because their favorite cereal is on sale. That's okay. That's real. Don't rush the process. Don't say yes to anyone's version of your new life but your own. Your spouse's passing doesn't mean your purpose ends. In fact, this chapter, though lonely and difficult, can become a time of powerful reflection and gentle rediscovery. Maybe you'll write letters to your grandchildren. Maybe you'll volunteer, plant a garden, learn to paint, or just spend time in silence appreciating the memories. Whatever you choose, choose it because it brings you peace, not because someone told you to do it. In all of this, the most important person you need to take care of is you. Your mental health, your financial future, your well-being, they matter now more than ever. You were a wife. You were a husband. You were part of a team. Now you're still you, and that's worth honoring. Make choices slowly. Guard your heart. Honor your love story, but don't bury yourself with it. And if no one's told you this today, let me be the one to say, you are doing better than you think. You are not weak for crying. You are not foolish for hoping. You are not broken because you miss them. You are human, deeply and beautifully human. And your life still matters.